Most people think aging speeds up because of big changes, but for seniors over 60, it's usually the small daily habits that make the difference. Tiny signals you send your body from the moment you wake up until you go to bed. And these signals can either help you stay youthful or quietly push you toward feeling older. Researchers who study aging in American adults say the same thing again and again. It is not your genetics that decide how old you feel each day. It's your routine. Small choices repeated over and over shape how your joints move, how your brain reacts, how your energy stays stable, and how confidently you get through the day. That's why this video is about 5 daily habits that help slow aging naturally. Nothing extreme, nothing complicated, nothing involving exercise, diets, or equipment. Just daily actions that tell your body to wake up smoother, move steadier, think clearer, and feel younger. These habits come from observing older adults in the US who stay mentally sharp and physically confident well into their 70s and 80s. And the first one is something almost everyone overlooks. The first habit is what scientists call your first movement choice. It simply means the very first thing your body does in the morning. Most seniors don't realize that this small moment controls a surprising amount of how they feel for the next several hours. When you sleep, your joints stiffen, your circulation slows, your balance system switches to low power mode, and your posture muscles turn off. So if the first thing you do when you wake up is twist quickly, sit up fast, bend sharply, or stand suddenly, your body absorbs that as stress. Your muscles tighten to protect you, your balance stays foggy, and your joints remain stiff for much longer. It's one of the easiest ways to accidentally feel older than you really are. But if your first movement is slow, gentle, and intentional, your body reacts completely differently. Instead of bracing, it opens. Instead of tensing, it releases. Instead of feeling rushed, it warms up naturally, and that calm opening signal lasts. Seniors who change their first movement often say the same thing: "My whole morning feels younger." Here's how to apply it. When you wake up, don't jump straight into action. Give your body a moment. Sit on the edge of the bed and feel your feet on the floor. Turn your head gently left and right. Roll your shoulders once or twice. Let your breathing settle. Then stand slowly, without rushing. This adds maybe 20 seconds to your morning, but your joints loosen with far less discomfort. Your blood pressure stabilizes before you stand, and your balance wakes up without that shaky, hesitant feeling many people experience in their 60s and 70s. There was a small study in Wisconsin where older adults practiced a slow, intentional first movement every day for 1 month. They didn't change anything else about their routine. They didn't exercise more or stretch more. They just altered the way they stood up. After 4 weeks, participants reported less stiffness, smoother walking in the first hour of the day, fewer dizzy moments, and greater confidence moving around the house. Their bodies weren't younger, but they felt younger because they weren't fighting their mornings anymore. This small ritual does something even more important. It resets your nervous system. Aging isn't just physical. It's also how quickly and smoothly your brain responds to the world around you. When the first thing your body experiences each morning is tension or rushing, your mind stays in that mode. But when your morning begins with calm, controlled movement, your brain stays steadier throughout the day. It becomes easier to focus, easier to stay balanced, and easier to move without hesitation. Many seniors describe the change like this: "I don't feel like I am trying to catch up to my body anymore." And that's exactly the point. Youthfulness isn't only about strength. It's about how coordinated and connected you feel. This first habit strengthens that connection. It gives your joints a chance to wake up gently, your posture a chance to lift naturally, and your balance system a chance to activate without fear or pressure. It may feel like a tiny adjustment, but aging is built from tiny signals. When you change the first one your body receives each day, everything else begins to shift. You walk differently, breathe differently, and react differently. Your day begins smoother, and your body follows that pattern. And this is only the beginning. The next habit works on your mind specifically, the part of your brain responsible for clarity, calmness, and emotional youth. Changing it takes less than a minute, but the difference you feel is noticeable almost immediately. The second daily habit that slows aging naturally has nothing to do with your joints or your posture. It has everything to do with your mind. Most people over 60 don't realize how much their morning thoughts shape their energy, mood, and clarity for the rest of the day. The brain is incredibly sensitive when you first wake up. It hasn't decided yet whether the day will feel stressful, slow, hopeful, calm, or rushed. It waits for the first message you give it. And most seniors accidentally start their day with the wrong one. Think about what many Americans see first thing in the morning: news alerts, weather warnings, political arguments, messages they feel pressured to answer, or a list of tasks waiting for their attention. Before they've even stood up, their brain receives a signal that the day is something to brace for. And when the mind braces, the body follows. Muscles tighten, breathing becomes shallow, thoughts speed up, and everything feels heavier. That heaviness gets mistaken for aging, but in reality, it's just the nervous system starting the day in defense mode. The daily habit that fixes this is incredibly simple. It's called choosing your first thought, but not a goal, not a pressure, not something you need to achieve. It's a direction, a gentle phrase that tells your brain how to begin the day. Something short enough to say in one breath, but strong enough to shift the tone of your entire morning. The important part is that it comes before anything else, before news, before notifications, before noise. There are many ways to do this. Some seniors choose a thought like, today I move slowly and calmly, or I will take things one moment at a time. Others choose something that feels grounding, like my body will warm up naturally, or I begin this day with ease. It isn't about motivation or positivity. It's about orientation. You're telling your brain, gently but clearly, which direction you want the day to lean toward. In a study done with older adults in Michigan, researchers found that people who set a simple morning intention had better focus, steadier mood, and fewer moments of overwhelm compared to those who didn't. Not because their lives were easier, but because their brains weren't starting the day in chaos. Their thoughts had direction, and a directed mind feels younger, more capable, more in control, more confident. Many seniors say this habit feels strange at first. It's easy to think something so small won't matter. But the brain treats morning thoughts like starting lines. If the first signal is grounded, the brain loosens its grip. If the first signal is pressure, the brain tenses. Over time, those small reactions add up. People who start their days with thoughts of tension age faster, mentally more worrying, more fog, more hesitation. Those who begin with clarity age slower, more calmness, more patience, more emotional steadiness. You don't need to sit still, meditate, or write anything down. You can do this while sitting up in bed or placing your feet on the floor. One clear thought, one direction, a single breath. That's enough to shift your nervous system out of stress mode and into balance. It's one of the easiest ways to give your brain a younger rhythm, and the real power comes from the consistency. When your mind receives the same calm message every morning, it adapts. The stress centers quiet down. The decision-making centers become more active. You think more clearly, react more gently, and feel more connected to the moments in front of you instead of rushing through them. That is what youthfulness feels like: presence, steadiness, clarity. This habit doesn't erase problems or responsibilities. It simply gives your brain a softer entry into the day. A way to wake up without feeling like you're under pressure. A way to stop the morning from deciding your mood before you even begin. Seniors who use this habit often say their mornings feel smoother, their minds feel lighter, and their daily challenges feel easier to navigate. It's not magic, it's direction. And once your mind starts the day younger, the rest of your routines become easier too. You move with more confidence, breathe more naturally, and make decisions with less strain. But slowing aging isn't only about the mind. The next daily habit affects your balance, coordination, and stability throughout the day, areas that change quietly with age and can either speed aging up or slow it down dramatically. The third daily habit that slows aging happens in a moment most seniors never think about: the transition from stillness to movement. Not in the morning this time, but throughout the entire day. As people age, one of the biggest challenges isn't strength, it's sudden transitions, going from sitting to standing, standing to walking, bending to straightening, stillness to motion. These changes become harder not because the body is weak, but because the nervous system reacts slower. It needs a brief moment to understand what you want it to do. When the nervous system doesn't get that moment, it panics, it tightens, stiffens, or hesitates. You feel it as wobbliness, unsteady steps, or that feeling of "wait, give me a second before moving." Many seniors think this is permanent aging, but in reality, it's a habit. A rushed transition, a demand without warning, and that creates a cascade of tension that lasts far longer than the moment itself. The habit that changes this is called the pause before motion. It's extremely simple. Before you move from one position to another, you give your body one calm second, not long enough to feel unnatural, just long enough for your balance system and posture muscles to switch on. This single second pause has been shown in fall prevention programs to significantly reduce hesitation, stiffness, and balance errors in older adults. Imagine you're sitting in a chair and you want to stand. Instead of pushing upward right away, you give yourself 1 second to feel your feet on the ground, lift your chest slightly, and let your brain prepare. Then you stand. That tiny pause signals your nervous system to engage your stabilizing muscles. Seniors who use this habit say their movements feel smoother, lighter, and more under control. Or imagine you're standing still and you want to start walking. Instead of stepping immediately, pause for one natural breath. That breath gives your inner ear, your eyes, and your leg sensors time to coordinate. Most people don't realize how much these systems slow down past 60, not because they re-damaged, but because they need a fraction more time to sink. When you give them that time, even just 1 second, they respond almost like they used to decades earlier. This habit also reduces the subconscious fear many older adults feel when moving around their home. That small fear, often unspoken, creates tension, and tension makes the body feel older. When your movements feel smoother, your confidence rises, and confidence itself is youthfulness, not the kind measured in years, but the kind felt in the way you walk across a room. There was a program in Arizona where seniors practiced this 1 second rule for 6 weeks. They didn't train their legs, they didn't do balance exercises. They simply paused before each major movement. The results were surprisingly strong: more stable steps, smoother transitions, fewer missteps, fewer shoulder and lower back complaints, and a greater sense of ease in daily activities. All from one tiny habit. What makes this habit so effective is how often it applies. You don't just use it once in the morning. You use it dozens of times without realizing it. Every time you get up, sit down, turn, step, bend, or shift positions, you're giving your body a gentle cue. We're changing positions now. Prepare. And the body listens. It's not aging that causes clumsy moments, it's rushed transitions. When you stop rushing, your movement begins to feel more youthful automatically. This habit also protects your energy throughout the day. Quick, tense movements drain energy. Smooth, coordinated movements conserve it. And conserving energy is a major part of aging well. Many seniors say that after adopting this pause, they end their days less tired, less tense, and more mentally clear. Not because they rested more, but because they moved smarter. The pause before motion habit is one of the most overlooked tools for aging slowly. It reminds your body how to move with intention instead of reaction, and that single second can reduce an entire day's worth of strain. But slowing aging isn't only about movement and mindset. Your environment also plays a huge role, something most people never consider. The next habit transforms how your home affects your aging from the moment you walk through it each day. The fourth daily habit that slows aging naturally has nothing to do with your body or your mind, but with something surrounding you all day, your environment. Most seniors don't realize how much their home influences their energy, balance, posture, and even their mood. The layout, the lighting, the height of certain objects, these things quietly shape how you move and how young or old your body feels. A home that encourages ease makes aging feel slower. A home that forces strain makes aging feel faster. The habit here is simple. Create one effortless path in your home, not a renovation, not a safety overhaul, not installing equipment, just adjusting one daily route so your body experiences less tension. It could be the path from your bedroom to the kitchen, or from the living room to the bathroom, or the route you take towards your favorite chair. The key is choosing the path you walk the most. Once you choose it, you make small changes to remove unnecessary strain. That might mean clearing a tight corner, moving a low side table that bumps your hip, adjusting a lamp so you see the floor better, relocating a rug that slides, or raising a seat slightly so standing up feels smoother. These are small changes, but they completely reshape how confidently you move. Many older adults don't notice how often they tense their body when navigating small obstacles, stepping around a plant, leaning away from a table edge, squinting in dim light, or bracing slightly on uneven flooring. These micro tensions build up over hours and make the body feel older. You don't realize the strain until it's gone. When seniors redesign just one simple pathway to be smoother, clearer, and easier to navigate, their entire day's movement becomes more relaxed. They stand taller, they walk more naturally, they conserve energy, their nervous system feels safer because it isn't preparing for unexpected bumps or slips. And that sense of safety translates directly into a younger feeling body. There was a small home environment study in North Carolina where seniors adjusted only one daily path in their home. After a few weeks, participants reported smoother walking, fewer stumbles, less joint tension at night, and surprisingly, better mood during the day. Many said they felt more themselves moving through their home. That is the subtle power of environment. It can aid you without you noticing, or it can support you without you trying. Once you have one effortless path, you begin noticing how much strain the rest of your home quietly creates. But the goal isn't to change everything, just one route. Just one daily experience where your body can move younger without effort. Over time, that ease spills into the rest of your day. Now we come to the final daily habit that slows aging, one of the most overlooked aspects of senior health. It's not physical, not mental, and not environmental. It's emotional. And many older adults don't realize how much emotional tension contributes to feeling older, heavier, and more drained. The fifth habit is ending each day with a release. Not a ritual, not journaling, not meditation, simply letting one small thing go before you go to sleep. Aging speeds up when stress carries from day to day. It forms a layer of tension that sits under everything: movement, breathing, thinking, even sleep quality. Letting go of just one worrying, one annoyance, one small frustration signals to your nervous system that the day is complete, that you don't need to drag anything into tomorrow. You can do it silently. You can think it as you lie down. You can say it in one sentence: I release this for today. It doesn't solve the problem. It doesn't ignore it, it just stops your mind from carrying the weight into the next morning. Seniors who do this consistently report waking up with lighter energy, clearer thinking, and less morning tension. Because emotional load ages the body more quietly than anything else. This daily release habit resets your inner balance. It keeps stress from stacking up. It teaches your body to close the day cleanly, so the next morning dose and tea starts already weighed down. And when this becomes routine, you notice something subtle but powerful. You don't just wake up younger, you live younger. Your reactions soften, your patience grows, and your emotional resilience increases. Feeling younger is not only about how well you move, but how lightly you carry your days. These 5 habits: your first movement, your first thought, your 1-second pause, your effortless path, And your nightly release aren't big life changes. They are small daily signals that tell your body and mind to slow aging rather than speed it up. And the more consistently you send those signals, the more your body responds, not by becoming younger in years, but by feeling younger in every way that matters. Now I'd love to know which of these habits you're going to start today. Even one of them can shift the way day feels and the way you age from here forward.